Welcome everyone to a new gameplay series on Battle Brothers. Battle Brothers is set in like the medieval time period, but with fantasy allowed, so there's some goblins, some orcs, and you can see like the armor and the style of equipment that you will be outfitting individuals in. And that brings us to the point of the game, which is that you are in control of a band of mercenaries, and you are just completing a basic cycle of accept a contract, go complete the contract by killing something, engaging in some kind of tactical combat, and then returning, and once you get rewarded for the contract, you upgrade your individuals with better armor, better weapons, you give them enough food, they need food to eat over the days, you have to pay them for being in your mercenary outfit. So that's the basic cycle of the game. There's some other like special things that you can see, like they've added late game crises. The way I see this game is that it's really, it's kind of like, for people who are familiar, Freelancer, which is a space game, but it has the same kind of model where you just, you take contracts, you take missions, you go complete them for money, then you upgrade your spaceship. Or for people who have played Escape Velocity, or the X series, or even, you know, those of you who are currently invested in Star Citizen, it's the same idea where you're allowed to just roam around the world if you want, but it's always a lot better if you're just taking contracts and completing them. And that certainly is much more the focus on this land-based game. This is not space, but I consider it kind of like those games, but on land. Now, for my name, I'm going to be choosing Tortuga Marines. If you're wondering about, I'm just going to make a mention about it should have an invisible "the" in front of it. Because in the writing, the text is set up such as when your mercenary company name is called, they'll put a "the" in front of it. So they'll say, "We are happy to accept the Tortuga Marines." So if I put Tortugas, possessive Marines, it wouldn't make sense. Just to give you a quick note why I'm naming my group this way. And I'm going to choose this banner here. This one. I like this one the best. I mean, there's some of them which are cool, but the banner will also be used as a weapon, and although the game doesn't penalize you for choosing a banner that doesn't have a weapon at the top, I kind of feel it's more appropriate to choose a banner with a weapon, just, you know, for my own role-playing purposes. Now, we'll be playing on expert difficulty, and Iron Man I usually don't like to do with games because, you know, if there's a save game corruption or anything like that, if a recording cuts out in the middle, you can't restore. But I think I will just do Iron Man for this one because I haven't noticed any problems with the game, and I don't foresee any reason why we would need to back up to a different game. Although, I mean, I haven't played Iron Man in this yet, but just based on my experience playing, I've gone to like day 27, which will be, I'll talk about late game crises in a moment, but I made it all that way with only normal save game stuff, but I didn't notice any reason why you would need to load the game, no bugs or anything. So hopefully Iron Man will be okay for us. Now, I mentioned that there's this cycle of take contract, complete contract, upgrade. This can get tedious by around day 30 or so, but luckily the developers, knowing that, have added in like this late game crises mode. So one of these three events will happen which will shake up the world and kind of adds a little diversity towards the end game, which is normally just, I mean, it's more of the same, and it can make it a little more interesting. There's various things you can do. You can they have faction relations with different cities, which we'll see. So there's some, like, I'm kind of glossing over some of the finer details, but that's still the basic gameplay, and this just is an attempt to, you know, break up that rhythm a little bit. So we'll go ahead and start on Expert Iron Man. I better not do Iron Man. I'm a little leery. So we'll just do normal Expert. And I don't expect this series will last a long time because of that. But that's fine. It'll give you a good introduction to the gameplay, I feel. Another thing I want to mention is the writing is quite verbose. Here we go. Perfect example. I'm not going to be reading through these, so if you'd like, you're just going to have to pause the YouTube recording, the video, and read it for yourself. This is our strategic map, and we're going to hit to the end, which will put us into the tactical map. And now you've seen all of the, like, how the game is set up. Strategic map to move around. Tactical map to actually fight the battles. Very much like Rome Total War, or like any of those games which split up things in this manner, which is plenty of games like that. Now I am going to, since we're on expert mode, and also because there's no way to avoid the tutorial, and I'm stealing this from Wadestar, who also has plenty of Battle Brothers series on his channel. There's a little trick that you can do. The game doesn't allow you to actually lose an individual, and although it's possible that one of my men will run away, I'm going to try to set this up in a way. Let's see, his movement is 2, 3. Let's just put him right here. And let's switch him to a dagger. He's fine there. And I'm going to move these guys back. I don't have a shield to break or anything, so we'll just focus. I think they're going to go to the north side, so let's put these guys on the south side. You're going to see I'm basically just going to cheese the system here to get hopefully some armor out of the tutorial. Once again, I think that's kind of necessary because it's expert mode. And on top of that, I think it's... oh, what? He took a hit. I think it's also kind of my way of saying, you know, if the game doesn't allow you to skip a tutorial, then we'll just fight back by cheesing the tutorial. Because none of our individuals can die here. Now, I haven't explained the mechanics here. It's pretty simple. You have a number of action points. Moving or taking any kind of action, like attacking or bracing your shield, takes away action points that you have. Turn order is determined by initiative in the normal manner. And you can choose to wait on your turn, which cycles you to the end. But you can't choose to wait twice. So if one individual has better initiative and comes before another, and you have them both wait once, you can't get the first guy to act second anymore. So either after he waits, the second guy, he cannot wait for other people. He has to act in order to act before the first guy. That might be a little confusing to just say verbally. You'll see it in action as we go along. So what I'm going to be doing, the way I'm going to cheese this, again, not my original idea. I'm just taking this from Wadestar, and he may have taken it from someone else. I don't know. We can use puncture, which completely ignores armor. You can see in the star right there. And that's going to allow us to hopefully recover this thug's armor. Now, I don't want to attack quite yet, and the reason why is because we get a bonus for surrounding this guy. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have him wait there, and I don't know where they're going to move. He's injured, so he'll be the primary target first anyway. So I'm going to move this guy here and this guy here, and we'll see where this guy goes. He went up. Okay, fine. Okay, so he's not fully retreating. This is good. Every now and then when this trick doesn't work, because your guy will take enough hits that he actually breaks completely. So they have morale. Once they're more surrounded, or once they take negative effects like being hit, they start to lose their morale. So that's currently the case of my individual. He's losing morale, but he can't lose any more morale because he can't lose any more hit points. The tutorial is set up so that you can only get down to 1 hit point, and this is where the cheese comes in. So I'm going to move this guy second, move this guy first here. If I had moved this guy first up here, which he would be able to do, he would get caught in this unit's zone of control, because, you know, the standard way of zone of control, you exert your zone of control on every hex surrounding you, just like in most war games. And I can now move through this zone of control because my unit is occupying it. Obviously, I can't come to rest there, but so we're going to move forward there. The reason I'm doing this is because what you'll see is my individual, who will now be the focus. I don't have to worry about these guys being attacked. And he can't be hit because he's already down to 1 hit point. He now has a surrounded bonus to his chance to hit, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, 41% is not fantastic. I haven't looked at the stats of this guy, but his melee skills are not very high, I can tell. So this can take a while. It's 40% chance to hit, and his puncture is actually quite fatiguing. You do also have fatigue, so if you keep swinging every turn, you normally are able to swing your weapon twice, unless it's a really heavy weapon. So if you do that every turn, you eventually build up enough fatigue that you won't be able to do that for a turn. Just to simulate normal battlefield fatigue. So let's see if we get a hit. We did! And the important thing here is the gray, you can see in the tooltip pop-up, the top helmet icon has nothing. It doesn't say untouched or anything. But the next one, the body armor, says untouched. The key to the puncture is that it'll ignore the armor and maybe we can recover it. Now, you kind of already get an idea of what's going on here, right? I can just keep puncturing. Wow, I'm getting very lucky here. This guy's almost on the verge of running away. I hope he doesn't run away, because if he does, one of these individuals will kill him instead, which would be unfortunate. But now they're going to swing at the most injured person. This is just the AI's path, the normal way they do things. We're going to continue not to do anything with our other individuals, and we're going to see if we can get one more puncture on him. We did. So the good news is you can see this little pouch here means that there's something on the ground. Now I could start puncturing this individual, but I'm gonna wait for my surround bonus, because it's a needless waste of fatigue not to attack when we have the best surround bonus. So I'm gonna move this guy here, have him wait, move this guy here, and actually I don't know if this will invoke an attack of opportunity, but I'm gonna pick this weapon up. If it's on the ground, you get it anyway, but I'm always like really nervous about what kind of stuff I'm gonna get. So I like to put it into my inventory, which is a guarantee I'm gonna collect it. So now we have the surround bonus, so my individual can now act. He acted last anyway, even if he had higher initiative, which I'll show I can just show their character screen here. Even if he had higher initiative than the others, his initiative is 59. We can see that somebody else is 78 and 70. His initiative is much lower just because all his fatigue is decreasing his initiative, which makes sense, right? The more fatigued you are, the slower you'll act. Okay, so I don't want to tutorialize too much. I'll just try to keep tutorializing to this one tutorial. I mean, literally the in-game tutorial, but you get the point. Now, I might cut away here because you can see my fatigue is building up pretty quickly, and if I keep missing like this, it's going to take a while for me to actually hit this guy, because I just end everyone's turn, and he doesn't even have enough fatigue to act this turn, so we're going to end everyone's turn. And this is just what we'll keep doing until the puncture ends up landing, and it's going to have to land like twice more. Okay, maybe, let's just see if I can speed through it. Is there anything else I'd want to talk about while we're waiting? No, probably not. Okay, let me just do the good thing for my viewers and force myself to edit the video. I'll put a cut in here. Okay, I'm cutting back. It's only been like a couple of turns, so I don't know what round number it was, like 9 or so. But we have an opportunity to kill him here, so just in case, well, we did. Perfect. So that is the end of that combat. So Gunther took a lot of wounds. It's quite unfortunate. But the good news is we collected both of their armor, and this is the key. And you can see that the loot found does not include the weapon I picked up, but that's because I picked it up. So it's already considered part of our inventory. Good. So very good. Now this is the strategic map. Once again, I'm not going to read this. I will continue to follow through with the tutorial series, which has us go over to this town, get paid for actually killing Hoggart's band, but then we're offered the opportunity to kill Hoggart himself. So I'll unpause and we'll move along this road. Hex-based randomly generated map. The seed was on the opening screen. You'll have to go back in the video. I don't remember what it was. It might actually say my save game, but... So these are the 3 individuals we have. Anytime you visit a town, this is the interface that pops up. We have our individuals here. Is he like... He's not gravely wounded in any way. That's fantastic. But poor Gunther... Oh, I have to rename these people as well. So I do have a list of supporters who I will draw from names. And then I'll actually be allowing you guys to offer your own names. They'll just fall in right behind the ones who have already supported, who I asked for ahead of time. So I'll get those names first. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Oh, we had some kind... Wait, is this where I'm supposed to go? No, it's not. This is where I'm supposed to go. Should be a pop-up, I was thinking to myself. Yeah, there should be a pop-up. Let's go to 2 times speed. There's the recent battle site. Okay, Hatlund is where we're supposed to go. There it is. So now we return. We're basically going back to the person saying we want to get paid, but he's saying, well, would you like to go after Hoggart? It's up to you. And we'll say yes, we'll go after him, because it's a fair enough second mission to complete. I don't see any reason why not to do it. They do offer us money, and it's not too difficult. We just have to deal with one marksman who will shoot arrows at us, which is a little bit challenging for your first fight, but I think it's doable. I mean, we're on expert. The reason why I wanted to mention that people might be a little upset, like, why did you cheese the first one? That's like horrible, right? Why are you already trying to exploit the game? Well, I'm on expert, and there's bad things that are going to happen. This game, I didn't mention this, but this game is like XCOM, a lot like XCOM, in that it's heavily RNG based. Everything is down to what kind of die rolls you get. And I know that's basically every game ever, but if you played XCOM and if you've played this game, you know what I mean, that you can have an 80% chance to hit or a 90% chance to hit, even 95% chance to hit, and you miss it, and you end up losing like your best mercenaries, maybe even you just lose your entire party, you entirely lose, you wipe. Just because of one really bad missed roll, or an enemy has like a 10% chance to hit and they get it. You know, these kind of things happen. I mean, the reverse is also true. We're probably a little bit less sensitive to the occasions when luck goes our way. We're like, oh, that's amazing. That's the way it should go because I'm great. But there will definitely be cases where we get the 10% chance to hit that we didn't expect, and we'll just celebrate those quietly. We'll focus on more. What I'm sure I will focus on more is the times when RNG does not favor us. And I have to say, my track record with RNG, for people who have seen my channel or know anything about my ability to play games or whatever, RNG generally does not like me. I have a bad seat on my computer, I always say. This is more of the tutorial. It's just giving us some of the ideas, some of the stuff we can do when we go into town. More importantly, the thing that we need to focus on is recruiting at least 3 more men, and we need to buy weapons and armor for them. Now, you don't have to. I think you can just hire the men, and you're fine. I should have checked for the men that were available in that other village, and I didn't, but that's okay. So a deserter is actually not bad, but pretty expensive. We have a small amount of money. Oh, a hunter, this is actually quite good. If we want another ranged person. But I kind of like building people up from nothing. The lowest amount of money that they can be bought for is generally the best, in my opinion. For example, Raymond here. He is only 8 gold per day, or whatever the cycle is, daily wage, yeah. So he's very cheap, and we can actually make him a lot better. Now, the fact that he's a butcher... It doesn't say anything about this. Okay. I suppose it's morale up? I actually don't know what it is for the butcher. Oh, actually, we have 2 hunters. That's impressive. So it looks like we're going to be taking Alvar the Artisan, not my favorite person. Artisans are not really the ideal. Yeah, but he's cheap, so we'll hire him. We just need 3 other men, right? So you can see, even by hiring the 2 cheapest, 2 of the individuals have already gone, several of the individuals are now too expensive. What do we have here? This guy is the worst of fisher. They come with a fisher's net, which is a one-time usable item. It's pretty good, but I don't think that... Oh, he's a rat catcher. I mistook that for a fisher. That is, I guess, the least noble of jobs, and probably explains why he's so incredibly cheap. But you know what? Hey, we're expecting individuals not to last long. It'll be kind of fun to have a list of names which constantly cycles for our for the name suggestions. So let's not get too in touch, or let's not care too much about any one in particular of our individuals. Now, my first companions, let's just go ahead and rename them. Again, the way you name these, I mentioned this to my supporters already, is you put some kind of name in here, and then the title should be something like the Drunk or the Brave, or, let's see, the Artisan. So Alvar the Artisan. So that's the general style you want. Now, we'll start off with who we have here. Ursa Voculi. Oh, he actually has 2. I'm going to choose this one. The Fur Coat. Okay, very interesting title, but I will abide by it. Next we have Meat Pants the Vegan. Interesting. Meat Pants the Vegan. Next we have Gunther. Gunther will be renamed to Raderick the Berserk. That's perfect. Actually, I'm going to choose this for a different person. It wouldn't be very appropriate on him. Let's get the Butcher. Yes, the Butcher has to be the Berserk. So, Raderick the Berserk. Berserk. And we have... This one will be... This is kind of long. Incompetent idiot. I don't think it'll fit. I think I'm just going to do incompetent the idiot. He's supposed to be the ill-fated. So, incompetent the ill-fated. Okay, incompetent the ill-fated. That's probably about the character max. Use this as the longest title that we want. Now we have... Who else? Aha! Our rat catcher. We need to give him another weapon. Our rat catcher will be... Who gets the... Oh, good. Sir Mingle, the rat catcher. You can kind of imagine the quirky. You can kind of imagine this guy as one of those self-proclaimed knights who wants people to address him as Sir, but he rolls in the mud and stuff. That's how I'd like to imagine it, at least. Now we have Matthias, or Matthias, the Thorn. And those are our original 6 party. So let's get this guy to operate his crossbow once again. He's going to be very injured, so he'll work in the back. We'll get these guys in some kind of configuration like this. Who should be the recipient of our armor? I think Radarak the Berserk. His Butcher's Apron is not terrible, to be honest. Doesn't have any. It's 25 versus 35 or 65. Let's give him the Gambeson. He's going to be a frontline fighter with this Cleaver. Cleaver, not my favorite initial weapon, but we're kind of not in a good situation when it comes to weapons. So Matthias the Thorn doesn't even have one. We'll give him... let's see. Who's the better? I didn't even look at their skills. We have melee skill and range skill here. Range skill not going to be important for anyone but him. He's probably the only one with a... Well, that guy has a... Wow, Ursa Voxis is our very good melee skill. The stars means their ability to level these up as you gain levels, which I'll address more when we actually gain a level. I don't want to bog down too much in the description. If people already know the game, we should be pushing forward, and you can kind of pick these things up as you go. I mean, a lot of it makes sense, right? This is my weapons effectiveness, like how much the damage is absorbed by armor or punctures the armor. Chance to hit the head is special, like flails give bonuses to that. So we have our first band of brothers, our first group of Tortuga of the Tortuga Marine, and we need weapons. We just need weapons. I don't think a knife. Well, we could send the guy with our rat catcher. Could just take a knife. He's gonna take it from our our crossbowmen though. I'm fine just sacrificing the crossbowman only to ranged. It's going to make him pretty useless, but usually you can always find a use for a ranged unit. I like to buy the weapons that are discounted based on being a little bit beaten up. So let's go ahead and get this, and let's get a shield as well, which we will just repair these on our own, but get them at a discounted rate, which is nice. I don't think there's any other weapons we need to buy. Well, yeah, we need one more. It would be kind of nice to give the pitchfork to our ranged unit, but maybe am I trying to do too much too quickly? No, I think a pitchfork is a fine weapon. We'll give that to our ranged unit instead. And hatchet is not bad. We are lacking... let's get a spear. Spears are much better. So, it's nice to have spears. You can form a spear wall. We just need 2 individuals to have spears to form a spear wall. But the 2 individuals we want to have the spear wall are going to be our 2 highest... Probably... Okay, Radarak the Berserk is going to become our spearman, because 54, and he can level it up as well. It's just fantastic. So, yeah, you will get my... I hope Radarak stays around. He's got some good skills, and his melee will level up better, which is very good. Okay, so he's gotten that. We'll give you a backup one of those. You are going to have this, which you'll repair as we go. And, wait. Sir Mingle the Quirky should be getting the Butcher's thing, because that just seems more fitting for some reason. And I should get you a shield, Matthias, because you don't deserve to go down wielding the... we've got to get you a better armor as well. 35. I'll take 35. That means you will get the Butcher's Apron. We don't really have any use for the Tattered Sackcloth. I'll probably just sell that immediately. This gives you an idea of how the interactions at town go. just buy and sell things. It's worth nothing. Okay. Well, I'm still going to sell it. It's just useless to carry around with us. Unless there's some trick. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have just sold it. We can get it back for free. So I don't know if there's any kind of trick you can do with the tattered sackcloth. We're missing a shield. I was thinking, I don't want a buckler though. I think there'll be a shield back in the other town. So we need to go back there anyways to show them that we have a full party. Wait. Buy weapons and armor for your men. Okay, there. I was paused. That's why it hadn't processed that I had done such a thing. So we'll go 2 times speed, usually. Okay. Great. Now he waves us off. We'll return with his head. But, you know, first we're actually going to see if we can buy just one single shield here. There it is. Just as I was hoping. Could get another pitchfork there. Cheaper here. This is actually almost at cost. It's worth 150. We're getting it for 152. That's a good deal. Which means I'm actually going to buy this bludgeon instead. Okay, let's see what our units have. You have a cleaver. We don't... You know what? We don't need it. We don't need it. So, one of the things you'll get better at as you play the game more is understanding what is a good price to buy and sell. That's something I'm not very good at. I kind of wrote things down or had a mental log of things when I was playing the game a lot more a couple weeks ago. But as of the time I'm doing this recording, I've kind of forgotten the best prices for things. And I'm not going to waste your time by trying to look it all up on camera. So that is, I mean, that's a good, should we actually try to get to the battle in time? I guess we can try to, I suspect that our first battle will actually be in the next episode, which is kind of a shame that I've rambled on so long. But, you know, doing the whole town part of things is just part of the way things go. Just want to do one final check. I'm nervous that we have somebody who's not ready. Okay, certainly Incompetent the Ill-Fated is not ready, but he'll have to be ready enough because here we go. So I'm going to pause right outside. It's actually better for us to fight at night, I think, because you can see that there's we can rest our cursor, Hogwarts Refuge, some Brigand Thugs, and a Brigand Poacher. His range capabilities are going to be better than mine. So I'm actually going to want to the nighttime, which has a big penalty to range combat. So I'm going to put a quick cut in the video here. We'll pick this actual battle up in episode 2. Since this is the first episode in the series, I know that we didn't have too much combat in this one, but if you wouldn't mind pressing the like button, just because that'll help with the search results on YouTube. And I won't ask that for the rest of the series. Those of you who follow my channel know that already. So that would be very helpful for me. And then in the next episode, we'll continue by hopefully securing Hogwarts Head. And then I'll show a little bit more about the cycle of take contract, complete contract, and go back, upgrade your units. So until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the new series, and until the next episode, take care.